Hey everyone, Rick Albert here. Today we're going to talk about 4 different ways you can work with your tenants during COVID-19. As I'm sure you can imagine, a lot of these tenants are scared, they're worried, they may have lost their jobs, they may just got to reduce in hours, pay, whatever the case may be. They may be coming to you as a landlord and saying, I can't pay the mortgage. So what do? Well, let's start off with a couple things. One, you are a business, whether you like it or not. And this could be how you put food on the table. It could also be your retirement, like in our case. Also keep in mind applicable laws. So for example, right now they've actually halted evictions if it's related to COVID-19, which kind of forces you to work with them one way or another. The other thing to keep in mind is that vacancy is a killer. So if you have good tenants that normally pay, you don't hear from them, only when necessary, you don't want to lose them. Right? We were all thrown into this situation because of the virus. It wasn't their fault. They didn't volunteer for something like this to happen. It wasn't like they got fired because they did a bad job, they quit and couldn't find another job. This was something that was out of their control. So it comes a time when we all have to act like humans and work together on something like this. So before I go into the 4 options, please make sure you check applicable laws, such as the rent control laws, such as if you're thinking about refinancing soon or getting a new loan soon, because the lenders are going to want to see your rent roll. They're going to want to see what kind of rents you're getting. So these are all things to keep in mind. So knowing all of that, and again, I'm not a financial advisor and every situation is different, but here's 4 different ways I've been talking to my investor clients. Option 1 is the total deferment. So they don't pay anything for a set amount of time, and then you could do a balloon payment, you could work out a payment plan. It's up to you and what's going on between you and the tenant. And to keep in mind that if you do the deferment, and they have a big balloon payment, if they couldn't pay the last 3 months, 6 months, whatever, unlikely they're gonna have a large sum of money to pay later on. So just keep that in mind. If you're financially hurting because of that, you can talk to your lender. Every lender is different. Everyone has a different option. The most common one is the forbearance option, which is, for example, let's say you don't make payments for 3 months, but then you have a balloon payment at the end of the 3 months, because then they always do a little caveat saying we may be able to do a repayment plan, we may be able to do a restructuring. There's all these different options that they might do, so you got to make sure you look out for that. The second one is somewhat of a compromise. So maybe it's a discount in rent, but then you raise rent later on. So for example, maybe you drop the rent by $500 a month for 2 months. So they owe you $1,000, but then you just raise rent by $200 a month for the remaining 5 months. Again, check with applicable laws, things like that, but that might not be a bad idea. It's kind of a compromise, and the tenant doesn't feel overwhelmed by having to come up with a giant balloon payment. Option 3 is to keep it case by case. There could be, you might have some tenants that are independent contractors and they're just waiting for that check to come in. It's just taking a little bit longer. So maybe you just take it 1 month at a time. And then the 4th is getting a little creative. Maybe your tenants are teachers, maybe they're tutors, and they can, through Zoom or through video chat, tutor your kids and you pay them to do that. Maybe one's a gardener and you want them to do some work on your landscaping that you've been pushing off for so long. Or maybe your tenant's a chef and they can meal prep for you. Get creative. Maybe there's certain goals, projects that you're interested in, and those tenants can help you in exchange for a reduction in rent, or it might look better on the books to just get paid, or pay them, and then they can just pay you rent. So as a recap, the 4 options, and there's plenty of more options out there, are reduction in rent completely and you just defer it. You can do a small reduction and then payment plans or balloon payment, whatever you work out. You can just take it month by month, or you can see if there's any work they can do for you in exchange. So now's the time to get creative. I'd love to hear what you're doing with your tenants. Go ahead and comment below, share with your friends, your fellow landlords, even tenants you might know who might be scared and don't know what their options are. I thank you all for everything. Stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Hey everyone, hopefully you liked the video. If so, please don't forget to give it a like, maybe show some love in the comments. Also don't forget to subscribe. We do have other videos posted. please go ahead and watch them, enjoy them. They'll be posted somewhere here. Feel free to click or just view the channel in general. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you next week.